Hi, it's Darin here for Darin's Desk, September 2022, and I'm here with my great friend Rob Hili, who's going to be asking me some questions that might bring out some relevance in today's market. Start us away, Rob.
Yeah, thanks, Darin. Thanks for having me, mate. Always a pleasure.
Thank you.
I've heard the rental teams has been kicking some major goals lately. Could you enlighten us? What does that mean? What's actually happening out there?
Yeah, well, it's an interesting market. We've been leasing a lot of properties, and there has been a bit of a surplus of properties that had gone on the market, and that's all been dissipated now. The rental team has leased and leased and leased. I think there was over 50 properties leased this month, which is just tremendous, and a real pat on the back to our team. But besides that, we've found that our customer service managers have been really drilling down into what our owners and landlords want, and making sure that we can maximise what they're actually after, and just little things that previously we probably didn't address as well as we have. They've really drilled down, and we've got some great results out of it. So that's amazing, and we're really, really happy.
Yeah, terrific, mate. How many properties are for actually rent for this month, do you know, on the books?
On the books itself?
Yeah.
I think they're down to about 29, which is what you've got to realise is there's sometimes a 3-week lead in because tenants give notice and they're moving out and you can't get them on the books officially. But we actually start to try to lease them right from the day that we know that they're becoming available. So our owners don't have vacancy factor.
Yeah.
And I can tell you that is actually getting smaller and smaller and smaller. And, at the start of last month, it would have been up in the 50s. But they're leasing them all the time. And when you're leasing 50 properties a month and you're actually, and you haven't got that many on your list, it's only a matter of time before you're actually going to, come up short. So we're after new landlords that are out there, and we've got some great new business people. And what they do is they settle people into our system, making sure that they're getting the results they want, making sure the marketing's the way they want, making sure that the right tenants are being shown the property and that they're getting their applications quite quickly so they know what's going on.
Yeah.
And that settles people in. Then you go over to a next section, which is actually a portfolio manager, or we call them customer service managers, and their job is to actually know what you want out of the experience of being a landlord and then deliver that in spades. So, we're working really, really hard with them to actually up the ante on everything they do.
Yeah.
And I can tell you, we're getting properties from other agencies that are badly in arrears, have had really poor conditions. We had one the other day that hadn't had a routine inspection for 3 years.
Wow.
It's horrible sort of stuff that's out there. We're taking them over. You give us a 30 days notice, one piece of paper signed, and we can take it over and make it all happen. So we encourage people to bring them over.
Yeah.
We can be really helpful there.
Yep. Just quickly on that topic, I was actually speaking to a friend this morning, and she rents from another agency, and the time she's been there for 2 years, hasn't had one physical inspection on their property.
It's crazy, isn't it?
Good luck for a landlord.
I think they used COVID, and look, let's be fair, it was hard through a certain period of COVID, but that's been and gone, and the excuse of that is gone as well. My fear is that if you actually have to go to tribunal at any time and you don't have that ongoing record of how the property was and how the condition had changed and things like that, you're in a serious bit of issues.
Yeah.
So, look, as I said, we're encouraging people to come over. We'll give you a health check on your file, and we'll tell you where the areas are that we fall down. And we've got the property managers now going to the stage where they're starting to look at future maintenance things that have got to be planned.
Yeah.
And we're actually making some plans with the owners to what they've got to do.
Yeah.
So,
on the rental side, a great initiative, Tenant of the Year. I think that's a great example of how your team takes it to another level. To recognise the tenants is unheard of, so that's brilliant. Have the finals been selected yet? Are we ready to go for that? It's due next month.
Yeah. I think they're just in the final process of the finalist to be done, and then they'll go out and they'll do some random checking and things like that. Have some conversations, check out properties, talk to the tenants. So it's an amazing thing for our tenants.
Yeah.
For the landlords, I've had the comment that a few agents have been telling them, oh, that's a bad thing. They support the tenants, they don't support the landlords. What a crazy idea.
Yeah.
If your tenants aren't happy, then your landlord's not happy. I think we're having a conversation off air, Rob, but, it's the same as our wives. If our wives aren't happy, then our lives aren't happy, are they? And
that's true.
So it's really important that we actually make sure that both sides of the pendulum are actually are really well satisfied. And the 10 of the Year is a great program because it just gives them an insight that people do care about them being there and what they do on a daily basis and how they pay their rent and how grateful they are and all the rest of the stuff that goes with it.
Brilliant. Absolutely love it. What are some of the categories in the 10 of the Year? when they go for the awards night and everything.
Okay, so there will be 5 finalists that are selected. Out of those 5 finalists, there'll be a winner. The winner of that category actually will win a week's free rent, and the winner overall will win a month's free rent. And that's not paid by any of our landlords; it's paid by us personally. And the reason behind it is just to keep that happiness within the group and within the team. It's something our property managers are excited about. So the categories work. There is loyalty. So it doesn't mean that it's the longest served. It's the person that actually represents has been there for a fair while, but also, what they do to try to entice people to be with us and be around us and all the rest of the stuff that's there. Some of the tenants just talk so positively about us, and we get lead after lead of whether it be landlords or sales or people coming to tenant properties from us. It's amazing. So that's a really good category. Gratitude, and I think it's self-explanatory, but we've got a lot of tenants that actually are very, very grateful for what it's actually happened. And they treat us with a lot of respect, and that's a really important element. Easy to have inspections with, look after the properties fantastically. It's just they're grateful for everything in life.
Yeah.
We have the Spirit Award. And the Spirit Award is probably the person in the community that actually involves themselves and does things throughout the community and helps others without actually asking for anything, be helped in return. And it's a really, really great award. Then you've got routines, and routines, it speaks for itself. The agents go out there, they look at properties over and over and over, and it's a really important stage to actually have your routines immaculate, and it's a great way of judging, how good the property is. It also adds value for the landlords to the property, and from a tenant's perspective, it gives them a sense of pride. So, we're very, very positive about that. And then there's a tenant of the year, which is the person that actually fits all the categories. They may not be the best in every category or even in one category, but they may be best overall. Yeah. And it's something that we really encourage and something we're excited about.
Yeah, we're working with one of those Tenant of the Year's last year award winners, Christine, who does unbelievable work for homeless groups. So it's a great way to be introduced to her and for her to be recognised for what she does, like from us, as being a tenant. I find, again, amazing. So I know it's made a big difference to her, and just for that recognition. So great work, mate.
Yeah, thank you. No, excited from the team's point of view, because it's not me, it's the team. And I think that's a really important thing.
Another initiative, which has got all the agents a buzz, pretty excited, is a 33-day sale. Could you explain a little bit what that means, like what involves, what's the advantages of it, and how to work to help someone sell their home? Yeah, for sure. Well, what we've found is over time that the market's changing quite quickly, Rob, and some of the methods that used to be used aren't working as well, and buyers are very picky about what they're actually going to pick and select. And basically the way I explain to anybody is that, if you've got an opportunity to go into an open house and there's 3 homes in the street and they're all exactly the same. One's on from 9 to 9:30, one's on from 9 to 12, and one's on from 9 to 5. Which is the one that you'd go in first? The lower one.
Yeah, the 9 to 9:30.
Yep.
And why is that? Because you can go into that, then you can go on the next one and go on the next one. Real estate only has one or two things that actually have deadlines. 33-day sales, one of them. Auctions, another one. I don't believe auctions working fantastic in the marketplace there. A lot of people are using them as a throw at the dice or whatever the case may be, but it hasn't been working as well as it had been in the past. And so the idea of the 33-day sale is if you can get your prices accurate from the start, and you can price it well to the market, you'll get inspections. Mm-hmm. If you get inspections, then you'll get offers. If you get offers, then you'll get competition. And if you get competition, you'll get a better price. And so it makes it quite simple. Now, the idea of having the deadline is get people to come in the door, and you have an opportunity to sell it from day one all the way to the 33rd day. Now, the truth is we've got our own ways in how we negotiate it and how we go about it and all the rest of it, which are, like the secret herbs and spices for KFC, I suppose. And they work really, really well for us. The team is very dedicated to it. They're very good at it. And the speed, I think that yesterday they clocked it at 12 days on market. Bloody fantastic.
Yeah, right.
And the prices that we're getting are really good for those programs.
Yep. So the 33-day sale, if an offer is welcome, like I've got a great offer and I'm happy to take it, day 12, day 13, I'm happy to take that
Entirely.
offer. I don't hold it to 33 days.
You don't have to. You don't have to. But what I will say is that owners have that choice of that. So there's 3 options that an owner will accept it, reject it, or they'll ask for more time. And so what I'm encouraging buyers to do is come in and have a look at those properties. You don't have to buy it. Just see it first, because it probably isn't going to stay on the market as long as everything else. And that would be worth them coming and have a look.
And what's the market looking like out there at the moment?
Yeah, well, it's interesting, Rob. It's certainly changed from where it was. Everyone knows that. But look, there has been certainly a decline, and somewhere between 15 and 25%, depending on which area you're in. Sounds like a lot, but it certainly is. Remembering, though, it was a 30 to 35% gain in our area over the last 12 months. So we're only losing partly what we've actually already gained. And I know that might sound tragic, but there is still buyers out there. There was 37 exchange sales for us for the month, which is probably not where our 50, 60 plus normally is, but we're very delighted with it because of the way the market is. We know we've worked really, really hard for our owners, and those owners have been very lucky to get the best results possible. So
terrific. Do you have any advice out there for buyers and sellers in general?
Absolutely. Look, let's start with sellers. Sellers, if you can imagine a set of steps on the side, and as you go down, each step is actually 5% or 10% of the marketplace. What you've got to realize is that you were on in the top of the boom, and that's only 4 to 6 months ago, that you were sitting at the top of the step. So you were on step 0. Then step 1 was where the market actually fell by 5%, step 2, 10%, and so on and so forth. We're probably sitting somewhere between step 3 and step 5 right at the moment. And unfortunately, you've got to pick which one it is, because if you're on step 3 and it is on step 5 in your particular area, unfortunately, you're going to have a lot of pain because you're not going to see many people through the door. So my advice is that I do believe there's other steps. I don't believe it'll stop at 5. I think there's more. It's a very, very good time to actually take a jump off. And if you have to set a step lower, then do that, because it's got to be better than setting 2 or 3 lower in further down the line.
Yeah, terrific.
From a buyer's perspective, I've got a really, really good suggestion, which is, the best time to buy is right now. I've said this a couple of times on the podcast, but I'm going to keep saying it to people, because at the moment you've got, say, 3.5% interest rates to 4% interest rates, somewhere thereabouts. As of Tuesday, you'll probably find it'll be up another 0.5%. So instead of 3.5 to 4, it'll be 4 to 4.5. And that's going to keep rising. My guesstimation, and I'm not a financial planner, I can't give you any financial advice, but it's going to end up somewhere around the 5, 6, 7 sort of mark. I would say somewhere around 6, 6.5, potentially. If that's the case, you could buy a property now and it might cost you a little bit more, but you actually may be able to get the loan, where if that loan goes up to 6.5% or more, you might actually find that the potential to borrow as much won't be there. So you might not get the same property that you could get now. Now, you might have to pay a little bit more, but real estate, you should be thinking of long periods of time, 10, 20, 30 years. And especially if you're younger, but even if you're a little bit older, look at that 10-year plan and know that the potential is, the graphs have always shown that it's doubled over a 10-year period. So if you bought something today and it doubled in 10 years' time, well, you won't worry really too much about whether you spent $30,000 or $50,000 too much. Now, you could sit there and wait for the market to bottom out, but what if this is the bottom? And I'm not saying that it is, because I don't think it is, but I do believe it is a good time to buy, and I think it's a great time for people at a very, very attractive interest rate, because if they're not sitting at 8%, they're actually attractive, and so now's a good time to actually get in and buy. For those who are investors, it's a great time to buy, because you buy one now, and you may catch in the next year or two where you can afford to buy another one, get another one that's there, so you're going to make that gain twice rather than once. And so I would strongly say to people, now's the time to shop. Now, I'm not doing that because I need to sell properties. Properties will sell anyway, but I'm doing that to encourage people to actually start looking and being street smart about what they're doing, and get out there and have a look. You've got good selection at the moment, and you've got good opportunities.
Yeah.
And let's face it, if you can buy $150,000 less than last week, and you're doing all right, 6 months ago, you're doing all right, aren't you?
Yeah,
it's actually interesting, because my wife tells me that every time she goes to the shop, there's a 20% discount off something, and that's why she got it. Well, if you're getting a 20% discount now, then maybe you should be getting real estate too.
Might be a better return than shoes.
I don't know. My wife thinks they're pretty good.
Yeah, the shoes. Yeah,
she loves them.
Yeah, God bless her.
Yeah.
Well, that's very informative. A lot of great ideas in there to take away with. That's terrific. Final words. Like to sum it all up.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. Look, our commitment to our clients is that whether it's an up market or a down market, we're going to be able to maximize the dollars that we can get for you. And I've got to be honest with you, out in the marketplace at the moment, there are some people out there that are actually just highballing properties, telling people what they want to hear, not what they have to hear. My dad used to always say the difference between good and great is that how quickly you can get up and step up and get going again after something goes wrong, whether it be in life or anything really. But he also used to say there's a difference between sympathy and empathy. Sympathy is actually feeling sorry for someone because they've lost $100,000 from where it was in the top of the market. They didn't have it. They didn't sell then. So they didn't actually have it. But that's sympathy. Empathy is actually going, okay, what is your circumstance at the moment, Rob? why do I need to get you on and off the market right now? And how is that going to change and alter to make your life better? It's like kids taking medicine. Sometimes they don't want to take it, but sometimes it's a better thing to do. And right now, the best thing that people can do is get on and off the market quite quickly. And that's why we've suggested 33-day sales. So our commitment to you and everybody out there in the marketplace is that when we take your property on, we will work as hard as we possibly can to maximize the best dollar you possibly can in this market. And if the market gets worse or it gets better, then we'll be there for you then too.
Yeah, terrific, mate. I'm in a fortunate position where I get to see it in action.
Yep.
All the work that goes behind the scenes is quite incredible. So keep it up, and look forward to you helping as many people as possible.
Thanks for encouragement.
Thanks, Darin.
Darin, signing out.